Hey, what's up everyone? I'm Colby from Sanitary Productions. We're back again with another action figure review. In this episode, we're taking a look at the Masters of the Universe Origins series. This is Beastman. Very cool looking figure here. I've always liked the character Beastman, whether it be from the original vintage cartoon, the original vintage toy, the 2000X incarceration, whatever. Cool looking figure here. It comes on a standard Masters of the Universe Origins packaging here. The nice kind of throwback to the original vintage packaging. Has the new for 20 little stamp on it there, along with the modern posing retro play burst right there. Very cool looking. Flipping it over to the back, we have the other characters in the particular wave that we got here, along with the action features and this cool little art thing here, showing Beastman in all his glory. Very, very nice looking. Really awesome artwork they got going on there. Let's go ahead and get this guy out of the packaging here. So Beastman was a little hard to get when he first came out, but has since become a little bit more available, I guess you could say. How are we going to do this? Let's try it this way. So yeah, it's a fairly common figure nowadays. You may or may not be able to get it on the store shelves still. I do see them occasionally pop up still at my local Walmarts. But your mileage may vary. I know these early waves were a little bit tricky. So I don't know, depending on when you're watching this, try your local store and see. But chances are, if you're a big Masters of the Universe fan, you may have already picked this thing up. So I'm a little late to the game in getting it opened. But that's the way it goes, right? Better late than never. Pulling Beastie out of here. And then we've got a cool mini comic that's kind of stuck in there a little bit, but not too bad here. So we'll toss the packaging off to the side for the time being, and we'll move on from there. Cool mini comic. Beastman himself here comes in the standard plastic container thing. We got some straps holding him around the arms and the legs, and then his accessory thing is just taped in here beside that. So let's go ahead and cut these rubber bands. And I'm going to cut the tape also. And we'll pull that out. Cool. And get Beastman out here. Pull these rubber bands off so we can toss them at the same time. Cool. Alrighty. Throw that to the side. And, yeah, I guess we'll go ahead and zoom in. We're close enough to it now. It shouldn't make that big a deal, right? We'll adjust the camera here just a bit. Something about like that's probably going to work. Alright, then let's look here at the accessory pack. This thing is taped together. So we'll go ahead and cut that apart, hopefully, and see what we got here for accessories. Dump these things out right here in the center. We have his extra armor for his arms and his cool whip. Everything else is just empty here. So toss that on, and now we can get into the figure itself. So we'll start with a mini comic. This is the same mini comic we've seen in the rest of the first waves. Beast Barrage, nice artwork. The back has, again, that call out to the original figures, just like those original mini comics. Nice artwork going on here. We pretty much get an intro from basically every character in those first waves. We do see Snake Mountain there, Beastman, Skeletor, Evelyn. There's Prince Adam. We see a Wind Raider. Tila pops up And we have Skeletor attacking, along with some Shadow Beasts. I do hope they actually release some more Shadow Beasts in the Origins line. That would be cool. A big fight ensues. We get to see the transformation of Adam into He-Man. And then more fighting. And there is Man-at-Arms at the end there. So, very cool. Yeah, awesome. Again, it's the same comic that we got with all the other characters. So, if you've seen one, you've seen it a billion times. So, I guess we'll start with the accessories here. So, the main weapon that we have here is this awesome bullwhip. Very reminiscent of the original. Nice thick rope there. It's got a pretty good length on it there. The handle is a little odd here. It's always seemed a bit odd to me. He has to actually grip this little guard here instead. But the guard fits in his hand very easily. And then he can crack the bullwhip and wow, get his beasties to do his bidding. So very cool looking. And you can also stick that on his other hand here. You have to kind of bend the fingers around a little bit, but it's not too bad, but it fits in there pretty easily, so you can hold that in either hand. That is cool. But that's pretty much it, just kind of black plastic and the rope. So, yeah. Cool for what it is, but not a lot of detail in it. So, the other pieces that we get are these cool arm guards, spiky things. So, yeah, nice detail in them. We got those little rivet things there, the big spikes. It is made out of that really soft plastic here, so you can kind of bend it all the way around. Then you just kind of hook it on, I guess, either arm. I guess we'll try this arm first. I always like to have the little clasps in the back as opposed to being in the front. It's just an aesthetic choice for me. I like to not have to see them. If we can get this thing to fit over the top of there, you can luckily pull it pretty tight here to get it to go over that little peg thing and just kind of press it in place there. Fits on there really cool. I don't really know which way these are supposed to go. If these things, the spikes, are supposed to point down or up. We'll do one and one. I kind of like them up, but they also look pretty cool pointing down, so I think I'm going to leave them pointing down. Go ahead and stick this one on here. This one was a little easier to get on there. Almost a little easier. But it works pretty much the same as the original vintage version works for his armor here. So a lot of times in the vintage collection, if you're trying to pick up loose figures, the armor is sometimes missing. So you got to track it down separately sometimes. But it's cool because now we have armor. He looks a lot better with that armor. And according to the sell sheet, they have the actual armor, the little spiky bits pointing up. So you can do it whichever way you want to. I'm going to leave it the way it is for right now for the rest of the review. But up, down, I don't know. Leave your comments down below. Let me know which way you like it better. Do you like it with the spiky bits down or up? Doesn't make any difference to you. Whichever. Moving on to the figure itself here. Beastman looks awesome. He looks a lot better in person than I was afraid he was going to look. Some of the original release press junkets, whatever you want to call it, his face looked very much washed out, but I'm glad to see here that it actually works pretty well. And again, the lights in here may not work especially well for this, but you can see that his face paint is kind of a beige color, And then his teeth are white, and he's got the blue highlights, paints on his lip and under his eyes. So very, very nice there. Beyond that, really awesome detail. I mean, it's about the same amount of detail in his chest piece here as we had in the original vintage line. That nice kind of almost overpainted blue emblem there in the center of his chest. Really awesome detail here in the face. You get the cool kind of bearded look there. Those little horn things on his head. All his little fur sticking out on his arms, his back. He does have the chains, cufflink things. And on his hands, he does have those cool spiky bits. Beyond that, pretty basic figure, but still looks cool. Really awesome. The armor kind of works the same way. You just kind of pop this little strap out, and then you can remove it. Put it back on. Clasp it back together. Never works as easy as you want it to when you're trying to do it live in person, does it? There we go. Slide that back into place. Come on. There we go. Pull it tight and you're back to where you were. So, articulation wise, the head does span 360 degrees. You may have to kind of bend down this piece on his armor to get it to go. He also has plenty of up and down motion. He can do side head tilt a little bit, so very, very cool. Standard ball and swivel at the shoulder joints there. The armor does not get in the way of that at all, so very nice. Have a swivel and a rocker there at the elbow joint, so very cool. We have a swivel and a rocker at the wrist, up and down. Same thing on the other wrist, swivel and rocker. We have the irregular twist feature at the waist. We have the kind of traditional, at this point, plastic T-hook things at the hips and waist. He can move his legs forward about that much, which is a little odd, and then goes back about that ways, but you can kind of move it around a little bit to get it to loosen up to go further, but yeah, but nice split action there. And we have the ball and swivel joint at the knee, twist all the way around. It does have that little weird overhang there, but that's kind of, it's kind of become a fixture, and I'm kind of really not noticing it as much anymore, so it's not really that big a deal. The knees do look a little odd if you just look at them by themselves, but it does a good job of kind of blending in after a while. We do have the swivel at basically the top of the boot, top of the calves there. Then the rocker, and it goes kind of all the way around on the feet there. So very cool. You got a little bit of a paint smudge right there or something. Then we also do have a nice foot peg there at the bottom. So yeah, very cool looking. Beast Man knows what's going on. So very cool looking. It does kind of work really well, to be honest with you. It's got that nice bright orange color. The red is a little bit muted, but it kind of blends in really well with his orange color. So yeah, it's pretty nice here. Nice bright blue and this kind of yellowish green belt. So yeah, all in all, a very cool addition to the Masters of the Universe Origins line. So no problem whatsoever with that. Well, that's all the time we've got for today, so thanks for watching as always. Drop some comments down below. Let me know what you think of Beastman from the Origins line. I think it's a pretty cool figure here, and I'm actually really liking this figure. Beastman's always been a really cool looking character, and the Origins figure just kind of works really well. It's a nice blend between the animated version and kind of the cartoon version. Well, the action figure vintage version and the cartoon, so it works well as kind of either version there. So still very cool, but you know, let me know what you think down below. If you haven't already, feel free to subscribe to the channel. We try to do videos as often as I can, so 2 or 3 times a week usually on a good week, sometimes a little less, sometimes a little bit more, so who knows. But if there is anything you would like to see in future episodes, let me know that in the comment section as well. I'll see what I can do to get it out in front of y'all. Share, like, subscribe, all that good stuff there. And until next time,